We are still in our series, Legitimate Distractions Among Couples. Now, why are they legitimate? They are legitimate because they are obvious. There are reasons that we can give why we do what we do. All right. So, while some of these things are legitimate, we need to take care of them. We need to work on them so that they don't create problems. You know, and one of them, the one I'm going to be talking about today is work. Now, how is work a distraction? Yes, work can become a distraction when it is not properly managed. You hear things like, I need to work to take care of my family, I need to work to make ends meet. Yes, while it is proper for you to work to take care of your families, while it is proper for you to work to make ends meet, we must not allow that same work to become a snare. We must not allow that same work to become a problem, to become a source of division amongst us as couples. Now, I am going to be talking about three examples, three platforms through which this can happen. Number one is transferred aggression. Now, some people, they get stressed at work, and they maybe because they had a bad day at work, or they're having a terrible time with a boss or their target and all of that, and they come home and everybody at home is in trouble. The same anger, the same aggression they're bringing from work, they unconsciously, inadvertently, they transfer it to their spouse, they transfer it to their children without them realizing it. Now, the work that's supposed to be a source of blessing has suddenly become a source of concern for everybody. For example, if it's the man, when daddy comes back home, everybody is like, oh, we don't know what has happened today. So when such happens and care is not taken, over time it can create division, it can create gap between the couples. And when such happens, the emotional bond, the emotional attachment fades away gradually, because the man is just angry. It could be anyone. The person is just irritable, and any little thing, the person flares up. So we must be careful, to ensure that whatever happens at work, ends at work. If it was a bad day, let it end at work. At work, at best, give yourself a treat. When you come back home, as you are leaving the office, tell yourself that this stress ends here. Tomorrow when I return, I pick it up from there. All right. So another platform, another means through which this happens is through excessive work hours. When you work excessively, over time, maybe because you need to meet some target, maybe because if I do extra hours, my productivity allowance will increase and all of that. Keeping late meetings, doing all sorts of things at the expense of your relationship. Yeah, there are times that this can be helped, there are times that this cannot be helped. At such times that it couldn't be helped, then this has to be discussed. So you don't unnecessarily take on extra hours at work, at the expense of your spouse, at the expense of your family. This work is supposed to be a source of blessing. So somebody said, when there's no love at home, people organize several meetings at work. And to a large extent, I agree with that, because even some people that have control over their time, they refuse to just go home. They want to stay there at work, and it's so bad that some people even carry files home. They are at home, they are still working on their gadgets, they are still doing all manner of things at home, responding to emails, doing all sorts of things at the expense of their relationship with their spouse. Then the last one is lack of communication about that work itself. So when things happen at work, a very good example, a very good way of mitigating those things, even those aggression, those excessive work, is to discuss the work itself with your spouse. When you discuss the work with your spouse, your wife is aware of, your husband, as the case may be, is aware of what you are passing through at work. The person understands the dynamics of your work. So of course, it depends on the nature of the work. Some work, there are certain sensitive things that maybe shouldn't be discussed with any other person like that. But then, for the ones that you can discuss, depending on how sensitive the work is, the ones that you can discuss when you talk about the stress and the work hours and some other things that can be discussed, it is better you discuss them so that your spouse can be on the same page with you. Your spouse can understand what you're talking about. But if you just bottle everything up and you don't talk about it, you don't discuss it, as a matter of fact, it's part of what you should be discussing with your spouse. So when you have such conversations, it becomes a lot easier, and everybody is on the same page. All right, thank you for listening. Till the next time I come your way, and we'll be talking about another legitimate distraction. Remain blessed.